What has Malaysia Kini done to harness citizen journalism?
Malaysia Kini has run an extensive citizen journalism program for the last 18 months. We've trained citizen journalists over 8 days in journalism, in video editing, video recording, and they've been able to produce very good videos. So up to now, we've trained about 186 journalists around the country, and together they've produced more than 800 videos and more than 5 million video views. So the citizen journalists have really become a network on their own and producing great local content.
So what's in it for Malaysia Kini? Why is it so important for you?
Well, web economics doesn't allow online media to grow too large, to become a huge organization. We just don't have those revenues. So what we have done is to keep a core team of full-time journalists covering national politics, and we hope the citizen journalists will sort of complement this core team by covering local issues on the ground, the issues that we can't get through because of our small number of full-time staff that we have.
So what sort of difficulties have you come across in running out the program?
Well, in the beginning, citizen journalism is a new concept, so there's a lot of teething issues. Sources, readers didn't quite understand it, what is exactly citizen journalists. Journalists themselves, will be kind of worried, who are these citizen journalists, why are they trying to do stories, news stories, It's kind of a bit weird, but really over the last 18 months they have been able to prove themselves. Many of issues that they have covered at the local level have got have got a reaction from the government, issues being resolved, communities like the idea of the local issues being covered. So over time it's been coming together. But it's very difficult in the start. But I think once the credibility is there, once the trust is there, it's easier for citizen journalists to work with full-time journalists.
So does Malaysia Kini use citizen journalism in its own pages on its own site?
Well, if a citizen journalist writes a story, it first goes on to their own page, which is on what they call cj.my. It's a separate website. However, the story is really interesting. We lift it, we re-edit it, we rewrite it, and then we republish it onto Malaysia Kini, and we pay the CJ a fee. So it's kind of like, in those cases, they act like a freelance reporter for us. So they're given, on one hand, they're given the freedom to write, report whatever they feel is important. On the other hand, if it's really good stuff, it comes onto our Malaysia Kini pages.
And how do you make sure that the citizen journalists produce good quality content and good ethical content?
Well, in order to get good content, part of it is the training, and training is sort of ongoing. It's not just those 8 days that they're trained, but through email, through discussions, it's an ongoing process of training. But more above and beyond that, they actually form a community of citizen journalists, and together they sort of self-check and self-regulate, and they want, as a community, they want the best content to come out of the community. So it's kind of a co-branding. So they really try to coach each other and help each other to get the best content. And somebody's really doing a bad job, there's some amount of criticism and saying, come on, don't let the group down. So a combination of training, continuous support and peer pressure, the best of citizen journalism comes out of that.
And what do you do with the best citizen journalists? Have you employed any of the people who've come out of the program?
Yes, the best citizen journalists, a few of them have become full-time journalists with Malaysia Kini. We also give them awards. We had a big conference, citizen journalism conference, around World Press Freedom Day a few weeks ago. And we continue want to work with them. We're trying to develop chapters, hubs, on the ground, where they can train other citizen journalists. So we're really trying to expand into a kind of a movement, where we should kind of report on local issues and sort of takes up what's happening on the ground.
And so when you give it a final evaluation of the challenges you've had and the benefits you get from it, how does that stack up?
Well, I think it's been an outstanding success. Much beyond what we would have initially thought of. Especially in the first few months were very, very tough. We thought, okay, it's not going to work. But today, looking at their political impact, the impact at a community level, it's really an outstanding success. I think it's something that we can build on, enhance. We're launching local sites called Community Kini, local community websites, and the CJs are going to anchor these sites. So, we really think it's been a huge success and something which we're going to build on going forward.